Today, we're going to talk about the appreciation of the Ghana cedis and how it has affected businesses. Has it affected businesses in a positive light or in a negative light? Is it really helping anyone that the cedis has appreciated, and the confusion that's going on in the market right now with regards to how much does it cost to buy the dollar? So let's dive into it. Well, over the past 3 months, the cities has been performing really well, right? If we go back about 3 years ago, since I actually came to Ghana, the cities was $1 you would get 5.7. When I came to Ghana in 2021 May, that's what it was, and it was unprecedented how fast the city depreciated against the dollar. It went from that amount to about 17 in a matter of 3 years. It was terrible, right? It was flying. It made the economy really hard because people in Ghana tend to peg things to the dollar, right? They will tell you stories that they imported or this how much they bought it for and all that. Made the country extremely expensive, especially people who are earning Ghana cedis. But it was great for the foreigners because your little $1,000 was now 17,000 Ghana cedis. It could go a long way. Although the increased prices of goods, it wasn't matching up to the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. So people with foreign currency were really winning in economy until recently. If you were coming to Ghana, right, just 4 years ago, with $1,000, you probably get about 5,000 Ghana cedis and some change. Fast forward 3 years later, you are looking at 17,000 Ghana cedis. You could almost do twice as much as you could have done just 3 years ago. Why the local Ghana didn't really see his salary increase that much. They increased it by 10%, 20%, but the cedi depreciated almost 60%. It wasn't matching up to it. Recently, the cedis has been very powerful. Actually, the best performing currency in the world right now, right? And I'm a business owner, and I've seen business drop a little bit because of this. Okay. Now, if you are serving the diaspora, like myself, selling land to the diasporans and, building for people and all that stuff, if you price something in cities, so we're going to look at my land, right? I saw land in Afenia and Pram Pram, and I still have land available for you. If you're interested, my link is in the description below. Reach out to me and then we can talk. Right? A part of land that was 85,000 Ghana cedis was roughly about $6,000, thereabout, right? Before the cedis started gaining strength. Now, all of a sudden, the diasporan who was saving to come and buy the $6,000 land just 3 months ago now has to pay $8,000 and some change, right? So what is that person gonna do? They're gonna wait, hopefully, and see if the cedis will weaken a little bit so that they can get more for their dollars, right? Now, the diasporans were hurting from this. They were really hurting. My own family members, I heard them started complaining about, when you send money to Ghana, because, you have people that are sending, let's say, 1,000 cedis every month to somebody in school, 1,000 cedis to a relative, 1,000 cedis to this person. People in the diaspora, that's what they're doing. They're working really hard. Most of them, or some of them, are taking care of family members, and they are sending them cedis. So the 1,000 cedis they were sending to Ghana must have cost them $60, $65. It wasn't much to them. But now all of a sudden they have to pay 40% more. They have to send $100. They have to send, if they were sending $1,000, now they have to send $1,500 to get the same cedis equivalent down here. So things became a bit tough. I mean, people were complaining about it. How much they could have sent, like if they would have sent $1,000 and they would do this amount of work in Ghana construction wise, now they have to send about $1,400, $1,500 to do the same work. Now people were crying to me. Why is that? The cedis appreciated, and instead of people selling goods and services in Ghana to reduce their prices, just as they did when the cedis were depreciating and they increased their prices, because they said, oh, the cedi is not worth much. We paid a lot in dollars. But when the table turned around, right, when gas prices went down, when the cedis gained more strength, instead of restaurant, construction, like, cement, iron rods, cement, even the president was saying that they should decrease, the price of cement. It was in the news and everything. But when you go buy it, it was the same price because they were saying that they have to finish their inventory. They didn't do that when the cedis depreciated in value. They immediately went and increased their prices. So the greed of the retailers, the greed of the business people, that didn't help anybody, right? Things were still costing the same. So when you do the math, I had a client reach out to me and said, Rush, the city is really appreciating. I mean, is my construction cost going to go down? And I said, it's probably even going to go higher. Because when we do the BOQ for you, which is a bill of quantities for a house, we divide it by, if the dollar amount is higher, we divide it by that, we get the dollar amount. Now it's lower for simplicity of mathematics. Let's say the building, we're doing the city's amount for you, right? They didn't decrease anything. So everything stays the same. They didn't decrease labor for construction workers. They didn't decrease iron rod costs. They didn't decrease any of that. So the calculation is not going to be too far off from the original one. Now, the kicker is if you are spending cities and you earn cities, you really wouldn't feel this, but I feel like you should feel that the economy is doing well and they should decrease prices. But you wouldn't really feel it as much as somebody holding the foreign currency. So let's say your building would have cost you 1.4 million Ghana cedis. Let's say when it was 14, you just have to divide it by 14, and that's a $100,000 house. But now the exchange rate is 10. And if I do the math, and I say it's like, all right, they decreased some prices of things, but it wasn't drastic. We all know. Some people didn't even touch it. Let's just give you 1.3 million Ghana cedis now because they decreased a few things here and there. You save yourself 100,000 Ghana cedis. Congratulations. Now let's divide it by 10 because that's what the exchange rate is now. You are looking at $130,000 for the same house. Can you believe that? That is what happened. So the foreigners were crying. Foreigners were feeling it, right? People were crying to me all the time about the land price and this. I even went out of my way and gave people discount. Instead of selling the land for 85,000 Ghana cedis, I was selling for 80,000 Ghana cedis for the time being because people are really hurting. Now, if you go to the restaurant, that's what I'm going to take you to now. Now I'm talking about construction. Let's look at our day-to-day spending. I went to a restaurant yesterday, right? You go to a restaurant, you spend money, a meal, 170 Ghana cedis, you get a nice meal, 200 Ghana cedis. You get a nice meal, right? If you earn dollars and you understand this game, you're always doing some conversion at the back of your mind. So that wasn't a lot of money about 4 months ago. That would be $10, $11, $12. You get a nice meal at a very nice restaurant. They didn't decrease anything, right? And rightfully so. They go and, electricity is not going down. Water price is not going down. The goods and services at the market that they go buy and prepare the food is not going down. Salary didn't go down. They are not saving anything. So they did not decrease the price, right? I go and I buy something for 200 Ghana cedis. Now I'm looking at $20, almost twice the price. Or I buy something for 170 Ghana cedis. It's the same price, but now it's more in dollars. So foreigners are really hurting. People on retirement, people came here with a plan. They're earning their $800 and they think once they exchange it, it's a lot of money. And all of a sudden, you see 30% of your budget or 35% of your budget poops evaporated due to the appreciation of the Ghana cedis. Was the Ghana cedis really helpful or was hurting? And now what's going on now is this was a good thing. The economy is doing well. The government is doing really well. They tighten things. But it's up to us to decrease prices to match it. Other than that, Ghana just becomes so expensive when you look at it from the eyes of the foreign investor. If you are going to increase prices when the cedi depreciate, you should decrease prices when the cedis appreciate. That is how the world is supposed to be. You don't take the good when it comes and the bad you ignore it. That is not how you do things. But the greed, man, in the market is crazy. So now people want it to go back up because it's not really helping anyone. It's only hurting foreigners and people earning foreign currencies. What's helping people is earning cedis. Right? It's helping them. Like somebody like me, if I sell land that I would have gotten $6,000 for, now I'm gonna make about $8,000 or $7,800, right? But it's hurting the diaspora. And you can also go down the prices because there are people, especially when it comes to property, that bought it for 85,000 Ghana cedis. Now you don't know what kind of currency they used to buy it. You weren't pricing the land based in dollars. You are pricing the land based on cedis. So you're not going to decrease the price of land. That's not how it works. You might do some promotions here and there to help. Now the banks are saying that the exchange rate is 10 point something, which really sucks for people in the diaspora yet again. Because to send money remotely and the like, right? Send money, Western Union, all of that, they are going to go by the bank rate, Bank of Ghana rate. And it's in the 10s. But the black market people are dealing in the 12s now. And the disparity is huge. The difference is huge. And this has to be corrected because the bank's rate and the people outside, people call it the black market, were never really the same rates, but the difference was not much. It was 30 pesos, right? 50 pesos difference to buy and exchange money from the bank as to people on the street. But now the difference is huge. When you go to the bank, guess what? They're not going to sell you any dollars. But the people in the diaspora that send the money over, unfortunately, they are subjected to this low rates. I had a client that was not just a client, somebody I know very well, that was staying at our Airbnb, 2 bedrooms, $150 a night. He stayed for 5 days, $750. Now he wanted to pay with the POS system, using a card to pay. And my agent gave him the rate on the market where you can actually buy dollars, because that's the amount we're charging for. And he's saying, oh no, because he's giving 12 point something, because that's how much you're gonna get it for. The bank is not gonna sell it to you, though yet they have it there. Good luck trying to go and buy dollars from the bank. They're not gonna sell it to you. So you're gonna go buy it from these forest people, That's where you're gonna go buy it, and their rate is 12 point something, 12.70. Now the guy did the math and he said, Rush, I'm paying $200 extra on this $750 by just going with the rate that you guys are giving me. And we weren't trying to cheat the guy. That's what it is. But if they deduct the money from this guy's account, it's gonna be at 10 rates. So he's just paying so much more. Why the disparity? If the cedis is going to appreciate, everything has to align. So to me, the cedis appreciation has helped and hurt the economy. We are fully going to enjoy the benefits of the cedi appreciation if retailers, business people, start being greedy and decrease prices. I'm a broker. One of my developers, right, who was selling his house, now he lives in Ghana. He spent cedis to build a house, but he pegged it to the dollar at the time. But now he doesn't know, because he feels like if he sells the building for, let's say he was selling for $200,000 and now he go and exchange it, he's losing money based on how much he spent on it and all that. It's causing a huge confusion going on, because if cement prices and everything would have reduced, then he wouldn't really care, because he's still developing. It would just trickle down. Based on my experience and the people I've been talking to, the cedi's appreciation has really hurt people more than it has benefited them. I have experienced one good benefit. I save about 200 Ghana cedis on my gas now every week. Right? I buy diesel. Before I would spend like 1,100 to fill my car up. 800 cedis will fill up my tank. So I save there. But that one, I think the government has more control over it. If we were up to the government, everything would decrease. But individuals are just greedy. And people have been complaining about this. So let's see how it goes. Plus the rain, the wars going on in the world. Things are a bit difficult right now. For a lot of people, when the future is bright, that's when we all experience this.